Hey everyone, today we have one of TeeCee's half shafts in the vise. Now I've seen a video on YouTube and I'm going to cut through these two here. I've tied this so this plate doesn't move, so we're going to cut through the top here, flip it over, cut through the bottom. I can separate that one and the bearing should fall out as well, so I'll do that. I can't film it unfortunately, so I'll just come back to you when I'm done. Well, I managed to get most of it off. Unfortunately, I did catch the axle shaft there, unfortunately. So the outer collar is off, which would sit here. The bearings and the casing are off, so it's just this last piece. Okay, so TeeCee's on the ground. I've brought up the puller, which is there. So we've got to spin TeeCee round. Now, because TeeCee is so close to the wall there, I can get the puller in and I'd be able to attach it to the front wheel, but we don't want to do that. We need to turn the car around and then I need to get out of the car, which would be interesting. And then I need to try and see if I can put the puller on and pull the bearing and the shaft out, and then measure the width of the bearing, or the diameter, not the circumference, just the diameter. Now I've had to go and use my old phone because my current phone, the batteries failed, as in expanded. Well, no matter which way you cut it, there's no way I can pull the bearing out like that, or even the half shaft out like that. So yeah, I need to get the half shafts done that are down in the garage. Sorry, I need to get the half shafts done that are down in the shed, then bring them up here, reverse the car out, start him up, and then swap them over. Anyway, thanks for watching this little video that really means absolutely nothing. The drum came off, but not quite how I expected. I had to use those two dog bones from the Kawasaki to get underneath the side of the brake drum. I could see it flexing in the very centre of the brake hub where it sits, and it flew off and landed there, and it hit my hand in the process there. So I'm going to have a nice bruise. So what I'm going to do before I put this back on, I'm going to grease where it meets. I haven't got any copper grease with me at the moment, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, let's get on with getting this this out. Alright, I've put on an extra glove. I'm going to put that round there as well. Right, let's get the bucket ready. You see how bad these bearings are. Slightly loose. It's hard work. I'll come back. Okay, so the problem has been found. This bearing on the driver's side at the back is absolutely knackered, and it's 60, what was it, 66? 66 mil diameter, and yeah, because I couldn't get these out, I couldn't tell what was what, so I just wasted just shy of 100 quid on bearings and press. Great. We've got stuff rattling around in the back.
Oh, I've started recording. Come on.
You've got a very old GoPro compared to
I got mine second hand.
that one came from Sheldon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. No. A new one. There's a new one out now.
What number?
11. Is that going to be in the right angle? Right. Right. You can press record.
We're in TeeCee's today and we're going to go for a little bit of a drive and report back on what I've done in the last couple of weeks, couple of days, and just a little bit of a catch up really. So did the Gaydon trip, and the trip itself was horrible. Hated it, every minute of it. I did basically quite a few 100 miles with earplugs in because the sound of the rear axle was just deafening. So 76 decibels, I downloaded an app for my phone and basically propped it on the dashboard and just recorded what was happening. So the volume in here was just horrendous. So I spoke to a few people about the bearings in the rear axle. A few people mentioned it to me and said, look, have you checked it or anything? So what I did was I got some advice from a few people, and it was a usual consensus that it was be 77 or 70, yeah, 77, no, 72 mil. So 72 millimeter diameter bearings on the axle shaft. So that's what I ordered. They came through. I got the axles out of the other the shafts out of the old axle, which was originally on TeeCee's, and had them pressed on. So I bought bearings, I paid for the pressing, and that was over £100. I got it wrong earlier on. I thought it was less than £100, but it's not. It's over £100. It was 60 for the bearings, 50 for fitting, and I didn't want to go to the show, so spoke to a friend who basically said sleep on it and think about it in the morning, because it was literally the show. Well, to get to my friend's was the following day, then stay overnight, and it would have been Gaydon. So I slept on it, woke up, thought this car is not going to defeat me. I woke up that day and I packed up the car, drove to B&Q and bought some earplugs, filled up the fuel tank and drove 250 miles. Yeah, it was the worst journey, 55 miles an hour doing 250 miles. So I did not enjoy that. So we got to my friend's place and two lads basically started ripping into the car and started doing some work on it. And we got the half shafts out eventually because I couldn't do it. Only to find that the bearings were 66 mil, not 72. So I had to carry on driving to Gaydon and then home with a noisy axle at 55 miles an hour. That was not the plan. Sorry, where was I? Yes. Yeah, drove all the way home from Gaydon, and ever since I've not wanted to touch this car. So I thought, okay, I did spend a day, sorry about the rattling noises everyone, I'm trying to figure out what these things are. I did change the half shaft over, because I only did the one. I will get the other one done when it's appropriate. So yeah, fitted the replacement bearing on the axle, but it went in without any resistance. Normally when you hit something in like that, there's a little bit of resistance. Nothing, no resistance whatsoever, which was confusing. So I hope you can see what I'm looking at. Anyway, I bolted it in and I went for a drive, and there was some rattling noises coming from the right hand side rear brake drum. This road here, actually, I was going a bend into the left, and all I could hear was grinding and scratching. Put your foot on the brake and it was even worse. So I put the car away, didn't think anything more of it, didn't want to touch it. I'd had enough. So I left it until today. So today I went up to the garage. I wanted to film it, but there wasn't enough power in the GoPro. Even though I charged it, there wasn't enough juice. So I guarantee you the battery in this thing is dying as we speak. Well, they're all dying, all batteries are dying. Now, as you can hear, there's no scratching, there's no grinding. The spring at the bottom of the brake shoes had popped out, and that was all that was doing it. That's all that was doing it, and that basically put me off touching this car for like 4 days. I just didn't want to do it. But today, driving it now, and he sounds fine. He's much quieter in here, even just doing low speed. I've got no idea what speed I'm doing because I don't have the sat nav in here. Because the speedo needs to be sorted out. I can hear a bit of rubbing, unless that's just axle whine. So let's put it back on the A38 and do a speed test. I think if I do 80 by this clock, that's around 70 for me, for this car. Oh, there we go. See, the brakes work quite well, quite good. I like it. There's a bit of rattle, I think it's coming from the exhaust. Now let's see how he goes. I've just overtaken a Focus ST. I'm in 4th gear already. Now that is, I reckon, not quite 70. I've still got a lot of vibration. Let's go right through my backside. So it's back her off to about 70 or 60 on the clock here, or 70, sorry, on the dash on this car. Drop it down a gear. Oh, so much vibration still, loads of it. But he picks up so much better. The bearings of when they're in the axle were causing me so much, well, they weren't letting me speed up. There's a lot of shaking, a lot of rattling. As you can hear, there's still a lot of noise. Well, that's a test run to see how he's doing with that new bearing. Something else is vibrating. I don't know what it is. Let's try the fan. I put some foam around the matrix in the engine bay to see if it helps anything. Seems to be. I can't smell hardly any fumes now, which is good. And I've ordered a set of valve stem seals, uprated CVH. All I need is the tool to get them in there. Yeah, that actually smells so much better. I can't smell, yeah, I really can't smell fumes now. It's so much more fun to drive at slower speeds, but at 70 he's still shaking. Shaking when I put my foot on the brake. I think there might be some adjustment needed. Possibly front brake discs need replacing. Let's put that off a minute. It's probably causing you some buffering with the microphone. Let's open the window, see if I get any fumes in that way. Yeah, still getting fumes in there. It's the back end of the car because it needs welding. That's what the issue is. Thanks for watching this little update. I'll see you lot later. Don't forget, I now have t-shirts available. There is a link on the channel for t-shirts and I'll put it in the description of this video. Feel free to purchase if you want to.